is gonna be a bit different. It's not gonna be I'm not gonna be streaming a game I'm playing. I'm actually gonna stream the finals game for the Gaia project event in the Mind Sports Olympiads, which was a very nice tournament I participated in as well. Only didn't make it to the finals, and uh, which featured a lot of very strong players. So it looked like it was gonna be a very interesting game to comment on. So I decided to stream this. And I'm now waiting for the game to start so that I can start spectating. Uh, the players concerned are going to be uh, Zoras, Fadi B, and Galad B, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let me look at it. Yeah, looks like the correct name. And Mike, who I guess is one of the organizers of the Mind Sports Olympiads, if I'm not mistaken. The game was scheduled for 2:30 p.m. in my time, which is which was 2 minutes ago. So I expect the game to be starting soon. While we wait, we'll talk a little bit about the tournament and the format of the tournament. So the first round was done with turn-based games. So, oh, the game has started. There just wasn't a link in the Discord channel. So I was saying the first round was turn-based, and each player played three games simultaneously. Each player was awarded a certain number of points according to their final position in each game, and the players with the four player with the highest score would participate in the finals, which is this game we're looking at, which is going to be played live. So of course, all the players who made it to the final are very strong player, and I expect them all to take this game very seriously. So wouldn't be surprised if this game ends up being a bit longer than average. Uh, I know that, like, usually when playing arena, the game lasts between 2 and 2 hours and a half. Uh, a game of Gaia Project where everyone really thinks hard. Every move can easily last more than 3 hours. So I'm kinda expecting the game to be more on that length, but we'll, we'll never know until it's done. I know some players are fast players anyway, but I know some of them also are mainly active in turn-based, so uh, yeah, they're probably used to spend a little bit more time uh, figuring out their moves. So without further ado, let's start. Oh, there's already Ghostly rooting for Fadi, who was the WBC champion. Yeah, that's that's correct. Uh, Honestly, these four players, I think it's anyone's game. I'm not really rooting for anyone because that wouldn't be nice from me since I'm commenting on the game. But I've played all the players except Mike. Uh, but I looked at his games in the MSO tournament, and yeah, it looked like uh, he's a very strong player. So while Fadi rotates the map, um, which I will warn you, they have settled for some tolerance in the negative for a negative timer to give everyone a little bit more time, since the rotation and auction is so delicate in this game. So uh, before uh, before anything else, I think I'd like to break down the setup a little bit. What should I start on? Final scoring. Final scoring is planet types and sectors. Planet types, planet types especially is very it can shape the game a lot, whereas sector is a bit more of an opportunistic objective. Planet types lead to some plays like securing some planets early, so taking digs over other actions can really be game defining. It also is coupled with the last round terraforming bonus. So yeah, there's gonna be some terraforming in this game. I think there's no doubt about that. And the rest of the track is not like the first three rounds are uh, pretty standard. There's nothing that uh, that stands out much. The first round guy is probably going to be hit a couple of times by one to three players probably. Round two advancements is we can just ignore, and round three big building. I guess everybody's gonna build one big building in that round. Round four towns. This might be interesting. There might be some faction that manage two, uh, maybe two with the win of the Terra track, which makes it free. Whereas some other faction are only going to manage one, so it's probably going to be one round where the biggest economy uh, might eke out more points. Round four is also a very good round for an economic for exploiting the development of a good economy. The 4 points per trading stations in round five. Uh, I think it's very realistic that most people will try to make four, three or four, maybe even five, and really hit this scoring very hard. It can be a lot of points, and of course, terraforming in the last round also rewards having a good stack of ore. Um, we will have to see how many planets, unoccupied planets, are still there in the last round, but it can lead to some pretty good scores. Bonus wise, there's the three main scoring ones. Um, Mines are missing. Mines can be mine missing can be a big deal. It usually is more points than trading station, which it's it's probably only going to really score something in the last rounds. Um, we have the points per Gaia, which is a nice addition because in a setup so terraforming oriented, usually it becomes good to play a Gaia farming faction with little competition on Gaia track. And of course, having at least one booster that gives you points for it will help the player going for Gaia. I'm not sure there's going to be two Gaia formers here. It might be a game with just one of them. And as first round booster, the only notable one is the range booster. There's no QSC, no dig. Um, so the fourth faction might be one that can do some interesting play with the range booster. I haven't looked at the map yet. The tech, the tactile setup looks pretty nice. Without going to my oh hi oh how do I read that name? L4CHS. You can tell me how it's pronounced. Um, and neck. Yeah, I talked briefly um, about the relationship between a heavy terraforming game and a Gaia forming faction. I was talking about the uh, the tactile setup. So the advanced style look very nice. The weakest one is on Terra, which is going to be the most contested track, uh, which is cool because it puts a lot of less pressure in a track that is going to that many players are going to have to climb. There's two good, nice one-shot tiles on science and navigation. There's the mind tile on the artificial intelligence track, which combined with this nice map for yellow might call for a Xenos pick. I think Xenos could do really, really well. Also, mine points for mines when the last round is terraforming is very good. The passing for planet types in a planet type game, honestly, becomes very viable. It could be interesting to have a Geodins game up economy. Of course, Evids could play hard on that tile, getting it early. Uh, and many other economical faction could try to exploit it, but the most obvious that come to mind are Ivits and Geodens. And the Gaia forming track has a decent tile. Um, I say decent because unless you're Baltic, it's hard that a Gaia forming faction will want to rush the track and get this style early enough for it to score for it to really score a lot of points. And the map looks very good for yellow. It looks pretty decent for gray. Uh, it doesn't look super good for blue, but actually, if it was Terrans here, I think they have a very decent game. Uh, Orange is a bit scattered, but I think uh, there's a game possible for Geodance. I wouldn't be as confident in putting Baltax in if there's also yellow, because it looks a bit tougher for them in that case. I don't see the map being particularly good for white, and Ibits are of course very playable. Uh, Brown doesn't look very good, but I actually think that Ambas might be nice because they can advance navigation very early and then easily find some paths to expand. They will also score the most points in the round one. Okay, so we have the picks. I missed that. We have the picks. Taklon suffer from power from the fourth power being under Gaia, of course. Gleans could also be really good But the reason I thought Xenos is because of the tactile. Like, Greens can have a really good start here, especially in fourth seed. But Xenos can really profit from a very good tile for this setup, which no other faction can really exploit as much. So I do think Xenos have something more going on. So we have Bascods, which I wouldn't have anticipated, honestly. I thought it was rather going to be Firax. We have Baltax, which are sandwiched. I guess they probably are going to be the only Gaia forming faction, but it looks really, really tough. Uh, Especially because reaching the Transdims is not going to be trivial with Adshalas also in the game. Speaking about Adshalas, they can definitely go try and play for the advanced style on Eco, which is a viable plan. They can also start Nav and then advance economy later. Uh, I think Adshalas are not bad here. I think they can have a very interesting game. I would say I would make a very superficial assessment, but I would say Xenos are best, then Hadshalas and Bescods are on the same level. Bescods are really a wild card here. They could go Gaia, they could go Terra, they could do a bunch of stuff. And Baltax are clearly worse. That now in terms of points, uh, in terms of points, I would have no idea. Yeah, they have agreed on more time to bid to have some meaningful bids and not like the standard 4 minutes that are allotted to bidding are nice. I mean, you can do some fairly accurate bids, but for a final of a tournament, yeah, I think it's more serious to give a bit more time. And this one should be tough because like the Baltax evaluation changes a lot based on how soon best could go for Gaia farming. Oh, oh, I this is very interesting. So apparently, uh, Baltax were valued higher than both Adshalas and Bescots, which which I don't really agree on. But uh, anyway, the bids are all very close. Like I would have expected at least a 15 points difference between Xenos and the worst faction, like and the one that would start with the most points. Uh, this is really interesting. There's the highest gap is 6 points. Only 2 points difference between Baltex uh, and Xenos. If I had to make a very superficial prediction, I would say that Xenos are going to smash this game. But everything is kind of up in the air, really. Um, I will be very interesting to see what Zoras will do with Bascots. I think they can. Oh, Baltax can do pretty good with the advanced tech for them. Yeah, but that's about all they have. Like, think about their expansion. They're certainly not going to compete on planet types because they're so incentivized to to go heavy on Gaia. They are definitely not going to win sectors with this map. Uh, they need. I mean, to be fair, there is the extra range booster. So if they time it correctly and get it like probably twice in the game, they can get out of the situation on the map. But really, they are sandwiched between two factions that are going to be very expansive, and and it is a planet type game, so they are both going to get orange planets early. They're like seeing it like this. I would be worried that they don't get a third federation here. But it looks like they might get a lot of early leech and a nice early federation here. So maybe they get the advanced style very early and just score a lot in game. Maybe they get good QAC action, so maybe they do have a game. But I wouldn't have said that Baltacs are second best here, personally. Fadi is saying that they didn't expect Baltacs, but rather Terrans as a Gaia forming faction, and I'm gonna say me too. The map looked a lot more exploitable by a Terrans player than Baltacs player. I do get the point with the advanced style, and the tech setup is good. Didn't expect Xenos to be the most expensive faction to play, or expensive. Oh yeah, that I definitely did. Map is so good, tactile is so good. They're gonna go uh, Nav, Terra, and QIC very likely, and it all synergizes so well. This style synergizes very well with grabbing planet type in the last round. This style synergizes so well with wanting to get a lot of sectors. They start with an advantage on sectors because they have 3 mines. Um, my assessment of the relative position is going to change a lot throughout the game, but uh, right now I like Xenos best. But again, I think we shouldn't sleep on best goods. I somehow foresee very little, how do I say, not much contention. Is that the word? Not much contention on the science track. Best gods can get reasonably 5 of their planets secured, and they are likely going to lose one gray planet, which by the way is kind of going to skew the results of the planet type objective, because I think that only one or two like either only one player is going to get 8 planet types, or two where one has 7 plus the lost planet. So and uh, Bescott can definitely do some serious Gaia forming in this game. Xenos might not get much leash at the start. I agree, but I don't think they care, honestly. I think they're just going to build so many mines that uh, they will have a very good economy, and everything will have been upgraded here. So they, starting from the second round, they will start to get the leech they need to get their money, etc. I think Xenos here is going just nav as fast as possible. They're choosing where to upgrade. Uh, I think this spot makes sense if they also think Baltacs are worse here. Um, but on the other hand, I think this spot here would have been a faster, both this and this spot could have made a faster federation, but it's really tough to predict. Um, I'm wondering which tech are Xenos taking. Like, are they going to take the 4 credits to support their economy, or are they gambling on taking either the 4 credits from here or uh, the 7 credit actions at some point and just take ore and QAC and build more mines? Because they can build a lot of mines in this game. Another option they have is to actually take this tile to get a 4 QEC action to get the 4 credits and still place uh, a decent number of mines. I'm not sure about that though. I would rather place more mines. Okay, so Zores is taking some time here. Probably it's time for him to decide between science and navigation. I would I would think with this setup, I can see a play for science with the 1 ore and 1 QAC tile. Let's see if it goes for this. So they can get a lab and 4 mines as well as their fair share of science steps, which looks very good for them actually. They have almost all their planets secure, at least of the ones that they are going to secure this game, and they still will have some credit income from their labs. So yeah, that's my prediction for Zoras. Baltax here, I don't know. Honestly, I am not sure. They secure planets. Okay, so they're not going for an academy. That's already out of the question. Baltax. What are Baltax going to do? Hmm. I'm really not sure. I'll go back to it later. Hadshavas are have taken in the first move. They have taken the 2 ore. They are on the big building booster. I think it's pretty clear that they are not going nav and that they're going uh, all the way up economy. I think they might. They might not even take a step on Terra. They definitely will be able to. Uh, if I were to guess, they might be taking the 1 ore and 1 QAC, and actually the big building tile. I think they can make good use of it, and if they are climbing all the way up economy, they have to take it now. And they will probably also eke out an extra mine. So academy and 2 mines all the way up eco with the big building tile, a very early federation coming up, a very nice advanced tech to grab early. I think that's a sound plan. I think there was a case for navigation, honestly. I'm a bit biased though because I tend to like doing that with Achala more. But oh, one thing I didn't say about Achalas, back-to-back trading station and terraforming is very good for them. If they go for a PI plan, which they can definitely, they at Shalas with the economy all upgraded, they can easily pull off two big buildings in round three. They can build both the second academy and the PI, and then in round four they can just build all their trading station, have a lot of money they can convert uh, and just dig a lot in the last round. I think that's what Fabi saw in Hershala's game. So yeah, the early navigation, scoring a bit for the first round, getting a lot of mines was definitely viable, but I do like this plan, if I read into it correctly. Na Nav looks poopy for Bascots, definitely, definitely because they don't have Nav two distance planets. Uh, Sometimes you still want to go nav because you get a QAC, so you get one more jump. Like they could easily have grabbed all of their home planets in range uh, by going nav. But I think an extra step on science right now is better. Uh, so um, Xenos, I already talked about they're doing nav as soon as possible and then building mines. The only question mark is whether they're uh, they're going to take the 4QAC action or not, and whether they are taking the 4 credits or the R and QAC. Baltex, I'm very curious about. Okay, they took the 4 power charge, which makes sense. Uh, I would. I generally have a slight preference for the four credits because you know with Baltics you never know when you're placing Gaia formers, how many of them, and so you risk not really cycling your power very well. If they can pull off the 7 credit action this round, they're fine. Uh, and it's not at all impossible. Also, that leaves the free tactile for later when they need more flexibility on which track to climb. Um, could Xenos also just take the free VP green and build some of them? Uh, I mean, the most it can be, I think, is 9 points this round, and then it doesn't have any extra utility. Um, oh, this is very good. The Rescode managed, they burnt one and they managed to get the dig. So they have insured 4 mines, uh, 4 mines in a lab. Hashalas, yeah, they took as predicted or in QIC. Um, Hashalas will only get 2 more leech. I assume they convert power to ore and also one QEC to build an extra mine. Xenos did take. I forgot to talk about this. Did take the 4 credit action tile in the end, which makes sense. considering that the likelihood of them getting the 7 credit action early is pretty low, and also when building a lot of mines is tough to pass early enough to get the full credit booster. Generally, the most sought after boosters in for round 2 are this one and the lab one for the extra knowledge, which I'm sure the best gods have their eyes on. Um, and they might get it, honestly, because uh, they don't have a lot of actions. So let's see if they take the ore in QAC, or what do they take? I'm pretty sure it's ore in QAC because it's the only option that lets them build an extra mine. Well, not the only one. They could also take the nav tile or a wild one to go nav and get a QAC that way. Uh, but this makes a lot of sense. Next round, they are going to secure uh, their their last Greek planet. And then, depending on how slow people are, maybe they can find a way to get down here. But considering that all this belt of planets is going to be taken by Xenos, and they have to reach it, even with the navigation boost, it's going to be very tough to reach this gray planet. I would just consider it lost. Oh, sure. Uh, yeah, when I responded to your comment about the free VP per guy, I didn't look where it was, but yeah, it doesn't make sense because it's under Terra. I just assume it was a free one. Um, to be fair, Xenos do have an excellent setup for Gaia farming here, and there is the token poster in, so there is a chance that they can go into Gaia farming, but I just think they will want to leverage a superior economy to just uh, dig in the last round and build a lot of mines. Um, what's okay? So at least I read Fadi's plan very accurately. So far, it's exactly what I anticipated. I'm also there is one slight doubt that I have, and it's whether they are going to build their extra mine here, down here, or up here, because this makes for a faster federation. But this red planet is kind of threatened by Baltax. Oh, and Baltax did something very interesting, which was taking the 7 power action to get back to for knowledge and reach all the way up the, the Gaia track. I can see that. It's of course it's very strong to reach the top of the track in the first round. I'm probably more worried than he is about money. Oh, this is interesting. So Zoras didn't build an extra mine. He built a trading station, which makes sense. It was another option. I didn't talk about it, but it definitely was an option because it gets them to for knowledge exactly for next round. Uh, and yeah, he can probably delay uh, building on the gray planets for a while. Mm, so my prediction for Zorus is that at this point he's going um, to pass first. He's going to pass for the 4 credits, And next round he's gonna build a second lab for the navigation tile, and that's going to be about it, plus whatever they can do with their power. Or as an alternative, they are doing the same thing but with the lab tile to get an extra 6 points, but they will have to manage uh, their the missing credit somewhere, which is not going to be hard because they can just go up science and charge free power. Um, but actually had Shalas pass first. I didn't expect that, but I can see why. Basically, they secure the extra knowledge, so they secure an extra step for next round, and they get to keep two QACs, so they're going to build both of these mines next round. I actually think this is a very good play. I tended to default to just build an extra mine in the first round to snowball, but uh, this makes a lot of sense. It's a kind of a more tactical play, but uh, it's very well spotted by Fadi. Can you explain again why the big building tile is better than just the 4 coins because of no PI plan? I think this is a PI plan. I think this is definitely a PI plan. The problem is that um, they were going to go all the way up the economy track in the first round. So if they were ever going to take the big building tech in the whole game, it was going to be it would have had to be now. And it's pretty good to have this tech early because they can rush a federation, which means that they can rush an advanced style that gives points for passing. So the earlier you get it, the the more you get out of it. And also because edge shadows don't really have credit problems, like they are probably going to build their PI around 3, but uh, they by that time they are probably going to build both big buildings, and they are probably going to get the 4 credit at that moment. They won't have any issue with credits the next round. So yeah, it's more than about getting the advanced style early. Uh, it's a lot of factors um, that combined make this a very uh, viable solution. Okay, so Bascots went for the big building tile instead of the 4 credit. Um, I'm gonna need to think a while to understand why. Uh, there, I don't know. They might be looking at grabbing the 7 credit action, which is very likely because edge sellers are much more likely to grab the 2 ore. But um, if I'm not mistaken, in this way they're giving up on an extra mile, which wasn't really interesting actually. So maybe it was just basically more credits than this one. Both were 0 points. It just takes an extra action to get it, but I think his prediction that Atshalas are not going to take the 7 credits is fairly accurate. So yeah, it is slightly more efficient than the 4 credits. Um, Xenas have passed as well. and they are taking the 4 credits now. This is very good for Xenos, and very bad for Baltax. They are in a bit of trouble now. I would be fairly confident in saying that Baltax are taking the range booster. They might build a trading station. I don't see why not here. Uh, they probably more need more of a steady credit income than ore, because they're not going to build a lot of mines yet. Okay, so I think uh, with their booster Baltics are gonna grab this one planet up here. It opens up more possibilities. As soon as they get a double dig, they get another orange planet, and then they start getting access to this side, which contains quite a few transdims. Best Gods Academy, very unlikely. They only have 3 ore. Uh, you really like the free knowledge power action from Baltex. I didn't dislike it, but um, what we're gonna see. I'm a bit worried about their credit income, but nothing is set in stone. So Fadi actually built the mine first, which makes sense because uh, Baltics are obviously threatening that planet. But I still think 2 hours getting back to them. I don't think Baltics uh, are going to take the 2 hours. They just need that power for money. They might want the 2 knowledge. Not sure what that gets them, but mm, yeah, that doesn't give any immediate benefit. I think it's just better to use it as credits and build mines and try, if they can, to secure this S7 credit action for next round, which is going to be tough. Xenos have a lot of possibilities here. Of course, they are low on power and they would like more power, but uh, they can they can wait a little bit and they will get some extra power. Not enough to get, for example, the 2 knowledge action that they would really love. Um, I think at this point here, uh, maybe they are worried about this yellow planet, so they want to secure it. But one thing that they can do is to build a lab first for the ore and QAC, and then build an extra mine. But uh, an extra mine on an extra Gaia, there, I guess that was always their plan. They were just choosing where to upgrade. And I think here it makes sense because they're going to get a charge this round. Okay, so of course, regarding the previous comment about Best Codes Academy, it's not impossible technically because they can take a step on Terra for 2 ore and convert to QAC, but they want to stick with that QAC for expansion later on, and they also want a little bit more credit income. I would I would think. Um, Bascots are also right after Adshalas, and they are craving for their booster for next round, which is it's a bit tough. Um, I mean, I guess Adshalas here are they're probably taking it. What they can take a dig, but they cannot build another mine afterwards, unless they go up nav for QEC this round, which is fairly doable. But the other option they have is to go up Terra and already build a lab this round for the 4 credits, for example, which will uh, place them in a good position to win Terra. I think they want to really rush there. I think the Had Shalas here really rely on winning Terra. So yeah, my prediction for now is getting 2-hour action and uh, and building a lab. Building a lab for the 4 credits. And next round, they will just miss 1 ore to build their PI, which there's plenty of on the boosters. Um, this is very interesting. Bascots took the first step on navigation before taking their special action, which makes me think that what they're doing here is using their special step um, on terraforming, and they're building 2 mines. Uh, I missed that detail before. Of course, the most efficient line. Yeah, it looks very good for Prescott's here, and they're going to get to spend uh, their for knowledge. It's likely going to be on science. There is a slight inefficiency, which is to reach the 4th level, they will have to get either the 7 points now or something else, but actually risk losing the top, so not being able to use the 7 points to reach the top. I don't, although, expect that much competition on the science track. I really don't see anyone being so interested in it. Let's see which technology Dukes and Stake. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be or in QAC. I'll wait a little bit. Maybe they're debating where to climb with that or in QAC. I think just going nav just because they get the power charge that they need, it's pretty good. Also, nav 2 is decent for them if they can secure some planets. And instead, they just want to rush AI quickly. Mm, I think getting navigation level 3 would have realistically let them take the 2 knowledge action, which means that they could have reached the same level in AI, but with an extra step. Would also have given them the extra credit to build the mine right away. I would assume that they're going to build a mine uh, on a Gaia here, probably the lower one. Interesting. I wonder if Baltics here are. I would assume that they are building a lab. I wonder whether that lab is going to be for the 4 credits, which I would think that they need, or for the Gaia points straight away. Um, I don't think that the Gaia points is strictly bad, um, but I don't know. I'm really worried about their credit income situation, but they probably just need one good break to get out of it, and they can gamble on being greedy. Bascot's Advanced Terra for 20. Use 4K to advance science for power, and they can maybe get the 2 or power action academy plus 1 mine. Uh, Academy is gone already, or you mean the next round? If you mean the next round, it's not impossible. If you mean this round, it's impossible. Um, anyway, if Bescots were to reach 4 power into both three, I think Anshalas are just going to burn one and take the 2 or I think that's pretty obvious. Zoras is it's not sure if I don't think they're considering anything else other than building the 2 extra mines. They're probably just trying to figure out which is the best sequence of moves. Um, and going to step on Terra first doesn't hurt, but also going navigation first will give them power to get a power action. Don't know which one is going to be. Um, Maybe just even the 2 knowledge here. Um, it probably depends a lot on whether their gray planets are threatened or not. But the only one who can threaten them is Xenos, and uh, I don't see them as threatening really. Um, Also, it was before they were going for lab. I mean, Bescott's Academy is not necessarily bad, huh? But it just like they need at least 2 labs. 2 labs is such a consistent uh, credit income, which comes with a tactile. I mean, it's really hard to justify an academy. I can see it happening next round. I can definitely see it happening next round. Um, if they can't expand further, they are probably going to go academy. If I oh this was weird. The Zoras burned a lot of power. How much? 2. They burned 2 power to take the 2 ore, which they didn't need because they could have the first step in terraforming. They can now use that step to go economy and have a little booster of income. I wonder if that was more of a counter move for Chalas. I wonder. The Berlin 2 is a bit of a big deal because I would have assumed that Bascots were going for Gaia farming pretty early here, but we'll see. At this point, I'm really curious to find out what the plan was. Um, Casinos pretty much are going to build a mine, I think, and then they're done. Let's see if I'm predicting correctly. That is gonna be this mine. No, they secure a yellow planet. I mean, they just lost 1 point, but um, yeah, it wasn't impossible that Baltex take it this round. To be fair, because after building this mine, they can if the dig was still available, they might have taken it. Fadi can still build his lab, converting 3 power to an ore. Um, but it gets tougher to get their PI out next round. If Bescott's burn for taking the 2 ore was a counter move to add Shalas, I wonder if it was if it wasn't too much because um, it's it's quite a big hit on Adshalas, but I'm not even sure that they are clearly leading, not that they are in uh, direct opposition to Bascots here. We'll see. Maybe I'll ask him after the game. But definitely the added bonus um, of advancing on economy earlier and have this will give them a nice economic boost actually. So maybe this first step on economy alone was a good enough reason to justify. Um, okay, Baltax built a lab. I'm guessing it's going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be the 4 credits, but the 3 points is interesting. Again, it's the thing I was debating earlier. They took the 4 credits. Okay, I think it makes sense. The slightly awkward thing with this decision is that uh, they have to commit a second step on Terra now if they want to score off of their Gaia planets, which is a bit awkward if they don't want to really be terraforming much. Maybe they want to do a bunch of terraforming um, coupled with their Gaia forming, uh, which will in turn open up a good window for Bascots to get into Gaia forming mid game. Um, or maybe they're just going to ignore the 3 points for Gaia completely. But if they're also going to be going heavy on Gaia, that's a bit counterproductive. So let's see. They place a Gaia former. Okay. This is probably signaling a desire for an early federation. I don't think it's impossible that they get the advanced style next round. They will have to cover uh, an important tile, or they might be aiming at the 4 QEC action, like taking the ore in QEC and then making a 4 QEC action. But that requires what? 2 mines and the lab. So it's 7 ore, and they are going to have 4. So actually, 4. They can get the 2 ore federation. That makes 6, and then they can get this stack, and it gets them to 7. So it's doable if they can also find a way to um, get 8 more credits. It's 4, 4 plus 8. Oh, 7 more credits. They need 7 more credits. If they get to pass for the 4 credit style, they should be able to pull off um, the the advanced style grab for the next round. They made it. I would have done converted this first, but maybe they're not really getting any um, any charge. Who passed first? Xenos passed first, right? The green number, if I'm not mistaken, are the next rounds. Next round's order. So Xenos is definitely going for the 7 credits. It's going for the 7 credits and the PI. That's my prediction for Xenos. Plus, I don't know what else they can pull off. Probably a 4 QAC action or some extra mines. Although they kind of want to delay the mines to the point where they get the advanced style. So maybe we're starting to reach the mid game slowly. I think we just actually entered the mid game. I want to reassess my prediction for this game. I think Adshales are indeed doing very well. And I think Xenos are still doing pretty good. I still think Valtex are a bit in the are a bit in pain right now, mostly because of their economic issues. Let's see if they go for. Oh, Baltex forgot to convert a QAC before passing. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad, especially in such an important game. I don't think they're going to restart. I don't think they're going to restart the game, but I think after this, Baltex are even more doomed. Of course, they needed that extra QAC. Yeah, that's a shame. I think their first move here, assuming that they're going to continue the game. Their first moves should be place a Gaia farmer to speed up, yeah, to speed up the power cycle. And Mascot's turn. Mascots, as always, I don't really have a clue. But I'm assuming that they're going to build a lab. I'm assuming that they're going to take the single dig for to build a mine, and then they're going to build a lab. I would also assume that they go into Gaia farming this round. And of course, there's still a slight chance that they want to go for an academy, since it scores 5 points, but it's only 2 points difference with a lab. Although a lab might be scored later, whereas um, an academy won't. There is of course also the option of building a PI, but I don't see what they will use the early federation for. Maybe just a little bit of an economic boost, but I don't really see a reason for it. Yeah, I think Baltex can still take the 4 QAC action because they will have. Ah, no, not anymore. Sorry, they could if they didn't place a guy forward there because they would be taking this. No, they can still because when taking the OR QAC tile, they can go up the QAC track. They should be able to manage the advanced tech grab this round. The interesting thing about grabbing the advanced tile here is that they are probably never going to get the 3 points per Gaia, maybe just very late in the game. And uh, they would also, which is probably a very good amount of points, and they will also have to have all the three labs in the same federation, which is also very awkward. Unless they don't plan to build any of their academies, which is not impossible. Uh, but it's still very awkward, like the trade-off between the Gaia forming tech and the advanced tech is makes the advanced tech look way less profitable. Sorry. Oh, and also Xenos here are threatening for QAC action. Of course, the knowledge and credit is a very interesting tile for Xenos right now. So it's not impossible to detect that. Let's see what best codes do. Let's see what best could do. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lab. And a mine. They're probably thinking this through because they're not sure if they need to secure the dig action now. I think uh, same as before, Adshalas are way more interested in the 2R action, and Xenos don't really have spare ore to build an extra mine right now. I wonder. I am pretty sure the Xenos are going to build their PI, but at the same time, I wonder whether uh, just building mines here is not uh, a good plan. I'm not sure though. I'm not really sure. But if Xenos turns, I think we'll get to see what they're up to very soon. Oh, and I forgot to mention that if they rush the advanced style on Gaia this round, Baltics are also going to lose on 5 points in the next round. So I don't think it's actually worth it to take it this round, to go through all that trouble to rush it. I really don't think so. But at this point, I think it was a misuse of their range booster last round to get this transdame here, rather than make a 4 range step. Sorry, 3 range step. Like both this planet and this planet were very interesting for Baltex. And this one only costed accuracy to get. At this point, they could probably uh, make it uh, pull off being greedy and taking the 3 points per Gaia, since they were getting the credit booster. I don't know if they could have calculated it at the time, but um, they could have just made a federation next round for the 6 credits instead of the ore, and be quite fine really. And then take uh, advanced style next round, which I think they should anyway. Okay, Xenos now have 6 power. I think they're going for the 2 ore here. I can't be sure, but I think they are. They might also want the 2 knowledge. They might also want the 2 knowledge, but personally, for my preferred playstyle, I would rather take the 2 ore and build 2 mines on top of their PI this round, and just forget the 4 QC action. The fact that they're thinking a lot makes me think that they're actually weighing these 2 options, or maybe a third one that I don't see. Um, Got me very curious. Okay, they take the 2R. Having two mines out is also probably going to result in an extra federation next round. Hatchala have a very good position on the tracks, but um, like I'm not sure they're securing the Gaia planet right now. Uh, what did they take? Oh, they took two knowledge. That's fine. Um, they didn't secure Gaia planet yet. I think they should make it to this one in time, but it's a bit tense. And also they're a bit late on expansion. They will need to convert some QAC, some money into QACs. Yeah, I don't think Shadows are looking that good, especially compared to Xenos. I think that Xenos and Bescots right now are the two main contenders for the win. So Bescots here went a second step up economy, which makes sense because economy 2 is much more efficient than just economy 1. Um, and they also went Gaia. But at this point, I'm wondering how. Uh, well, no, there's not much to wonder. They're just going to take a second step on Gaia to get the tokens. Really curious what Baltacs are going to do from now on. Soros is going to build the lab for the 4 power charge. Unless it's another tech, but I'm pretty sure it's the 4 power charge. They can afford another economic tile. They take planet type to knowledge is fine as well. Um, it will still give them an extra step on Gaia. It's a bit of a shame taking it before getting to 4 planets, but it's also fine actually. So I think here Xenos should build the mines, the 2 mines first, and then the PI, just in case. I don't think there's any danger in giving a Shala power because they're not getting a second round of charge. Let's see. Oh, but I forgot to mention that there's this little detail, but Xenos could also take uh, the 4 QAC before building the 2 mines. Of course, they ended up doing something completely different, and they built an academy. Um, I like my instinct tells me this is not good, but I'm probably thought about it a lot less than Mike, so we'll think a bit harder. And Shalas are also getting terraforming last step next round for an additional 5 points. Mm, it's a bit tough. They're a bit low on resources. They need to make a federation. They need to build at least 1 mine, for which they need a QAC. I mean, they are very likely getting the top of terraforming, to be fair, but it will be a lot. It will cost a lot, so it's not necessarily going to be a. Oh, this is interesting. Xenos with their academy, they took the 3 points per Gaia to get an extra 6 points. So it's basically a very similar round to what I thought they were doing, but just eking out 6 more points while also maintaining a nice credit income, which is very welcome. Uh, so yeah, I'm assuming Xenos' next move will be to take the one ore and sorry, one knowledge and one credit tile, and then build it to extra mines. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. The reason I wanted to see the PI last round is because they're already capped out on the AI track, so they could have used the extra QACs. Um, but building it next round doesn't really take away much. Also, maybe they can. I didn't calculate passing timing, but maybe they could have used extra moves, maybe to get this booster, which would be very nice. Xenos will end up with 5 Gaias with no Gaia forming done, so with no Gaia forming advancement done, so that's it's very nice, and they will allow to exploit this passing tile here. Yeah, yeah. Xenos are looking very good. I can confirm. So yeah, of course the the academy, now that I see it, made total sense. They are, I suppose, uh, reaching, uh, managing to build 2 federations next round. Let's see if they take the 4KC action. I would suppose so. Um, there might be some choice to be made on whether the tech should be this one, or rather the planet types. Admittedly, they only have 2 planet types, but it would get them to terraforming level 3 this round. Okay, they don't get the 4QAC action at all. Um, hmm. I think the reasoning behind that decision is so that they can get this Gaia here next round, which would get them another sector, another 3 points for the tech, and it would cost them 2 QACs. Um, I have to admit that I kind of forgot about the sector in-game scoring. With that in mind, sticking on 2 extra QACs make a lot of sense. Also, racing Terra doesn't really make sense. I think Ashalas clearly have tempo there. They have a bunch of moves to get to the top of Terra, but they also play before them, so yeah. Shalas are deciding whether to charge power. Fad is probably away from keyword because it's of course no, since they're charging 12 already. So if it's more than one power, it's wasted. I would guess they're not. Yeah, I would guess that Fadi is away. Um, so predictions for next round. Oh, meanwhile, I completely forgot to keep following Baltek's plan here, Baltek's game. Um, they set up a federation for next round, and I guess they're either going to build a mine on a Gaia, or they are placing a Gaia farmer. Uh, so they want to take the advanced style this round. Don't know about that. I think it's a mistake, but I think um, there were also a bunch of moves that they made leading to this situation now, uh, that were preparing for this move, and those were all mistakes probably, but uh, at this point maybe they decided to just commit to it. I don't know. Or maybe they just formed the federation to build an extra mine, which they could anyway. They could anyway because they. I thought they had some power they could convert. Or maybe they did, but they converted it to money. Yeah, that's what they did. They could have converted it to one ore and just got the extra mine. This point, I'm pretty sure they're taking the advanced style and covering the 4 power charge here. And probably spend a lot of QACs to place. I don't know, they just need one QAC to place a Terraformer here. I missed this purple planet here. Xenos, I assume they only have a last mine to place. Unless they are looking at some booster, but I don't see it. I think it has to be placing that mine all the way. Mm, yeah. Maybe they want to place this mine first, no, or that one first, um, before they pass. They pass because they can save a QAC, because they can now build this mine with the range booster and this one for free if had Shalas don't snipe it earlier. I can see it. I can see it. Um, so they go economy. That's interesting. Uh, I think it makes sense. What's Baltic's game going to look from now on? I have no idea. They're definitely not making a federation next round. They're probably just building a couple of mines and climbing further up economy. I think Baltax by now, uh, counting factoring also the one QEC loss, uh, they're, they're pretty surely looking at the last place here. But maybe they will be able to milk their advanced style a lot and get something significant out of it. Fad is taking the 7 credits. I can bet. Or maybe the two null the 7 credits. They can probably uh, hope, uh, like try and be greedy and hope to get both. And they might make it, actually. Xenos are building a mine. Galad is regretting the round one, 7 power, yeah, 7 power action for free knowledge. I think that was still a viable move. I think the problems came up after that. I think the main bad move, if let, letting aside the mistake of not converting accuracy, which is just, I mean, I couldn't even call it a mistake, really. Um, the main mistake was to not use the range booster when they had it to get to an orange planet 3 hexes away and to set up this federation early instead, because reading the uh, the the advanced out this round basically meant giving up points for the Gaia tile, giving up 5 points for the Federation round, and so it's probably we're probably already looking at, I think, at least, what could it be? At least 14 points loss, not factoring it how not factoring in how the plan for rushing this tile in round 3 meant having all the free labs in one federation. Uh, it will be interesting though if they manage to pull off the rest of the game without ever building the 2 academies. Um, it's probably just going to be a 2 federation game where they top uh, Gaia and that's it. They don't need another green federation. There's no scoring for having many federations really. I think they gave up on sectors from the beginning. I don't know if they will be able to make uh, something about planet types, but definitely doesn't. Definitely, they can do anything if they don't build uh, their academies ever. Okay, Zor's turn. Zor's game is very interesting. Um, Doing a lot of micromanaging with past gods, managed to have the science track all by himself. So um, I think past gods here are stand a very good chance of winning. Um, I have no prediction for their next move, really. They want to go PI first. Fair. They want, okay, now I have a prediction. They want to go PI first. They want to build immediately another lab to get the points per Gaia. And then make two federations. Can they make two? Maybe Mesco are actually not taking the points per guy, they're taking the big building tile so they can top economy as well. So just as I thought, Xenos by delaying their move, they lost the Gaia to Alshaz. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I mean, once you invest in the 3 points per Gaia tile, you might. Oh, they still don't take the other. Maybe they want to race for a certain federation. Hmm. I kinda liked Xenos plan for a while and then disliked it again. It's a bit weird. So at Chavez, what they're doing is basically building a HRV station close to the PI, forming a federation for the 6 credit. No, oh, maybe it's actually for the two knowledge. Now that the two knowledge are gone. Um, then top Terra and take advanced Tycho. That's it. So Baltax just go up Terra. I don't know. I can't really blame Baltax for anything because every move they take from now on looks kind of bad. I can see it makes sense to go Terra, but it kind of makes their economy steps a little bit wasted. At least this, no, yeah, both of them. Mm, but there are some nice clusters if they can reach them, and also they might just stack up some good amount of ore for the last round, um, and just score a lot uh, for the last round bonus and have a decent placement in planet types. So Xenos are probably still getting these two Gaia planets, and I say that because it's likely that Baltax actually go for the free QAC actions instead. Mm, Xenos took the two, or probably because there was only one left, rather than taking the six credits, which is going to be their next one. Um, I'm also assuming that they're going up AI and with the 4QC action taking um, the advanced style. Let's see if Baltecs are or we're looking more at the 3QC action or at building these Gaia mines. Gaia mines are a bit risky because I think it's very likely that Xenos just snipe this one as soon as Baltecs threaten it. But it would be a no, it's not really that annoying for Xenos, so no, they're just taking this if Baltecs threatens it. And at this point, maybe Baltecs just want to get points, and the extra hour is nice for them since they have few structures. I think the three QAC actions make three QHC action makes sense. Let's see if they have another idea. Um, Securing one of those Gaia planets is not bad because it will let them have um, an easy federation next round. And if they lose both, it's going to be tough to get one. Let's see, let's see. I actually think they are going to take the Gaia planet there. Let's see what happens. They spent two QICs to get a dig up there instead. Puts them in a cluster, which, I mean, the blue planet is probably will probably be long gone to hide shadows before uh, Baldex can dig it. Mm. So Shadows managed three federations this round. They get the most points out of the round event. The only problem is that next round they're going to have to build mines rather than be building trading stations. That said, maybe they're not making another federation, a second federation, like real federation, not the top of Terra this round, because yeah, for exactly this reason, to build mines instead. But if they take at the same time, if they take their that advanced style, they won't really have enough stuff to build a bunch of mines. They're now going to get the two ore action, so a couple of mines is going to be realistic, but that's going to be about it. I think to me right now the only question is who's first uh, between Bascots and Signals. Because if Bascots get 20 points with that advanced style on science, yeah, that's a good hit. Um, Xena's turn. Again, I think it's just up AI and for QC action. Let's see if they are thinking something different. It's up AI and for QC action. Okay. So Zoras builds a lab. I'm assuming the economic tech, I would guess. Zoras? Was Zoras making also Free Federation this round? Maybe he wants to not commit the two last great planets to a federation yet, to one, to only one federation yet, because they can they can help him to get two more if he builds some mines on the side. Um, Baltax should be done for the round. Yeah, they pass. They forget again to convert accuracy. At this point, I think they might have given up. Maybe they didn't give up. Maybe they genuinely forgot it. Again, I will tell them. And yeah, that's a shame. Two lost QECs. If the score in the end ends up being more competitive than I think it will be, it's going to be really a shame. Because two extra QACs can mean so much, really. Um, Somebody took the two extra tokens, power action. I wonder who that was. Maybe Zoras? Yeah, it has to be Zoras because they didn't get a two token fed and they spent two token for a fed and they have a lot of tokens. So basically, that's telling me that they get two knowledge, makes a lot of sense. I probably would have secured a two or, but yeah, maybe they don't care for the two or. Maybe they don't want to go Terra. Maybe they want to get the double dig to get this blue planet. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. They want the double dig to make to get this planet, and well, they missed two credits to build a Gaia mine. Then they can do something with their two bumps. I wonder what that something is. But definitely getting the last planets on the sector is pretty great. Oh, maybe actually Xenos took the two tokens because I remember them having very few. They're at four now. Yeah, it probably was them. How's the sector looking? Everybody at five. That's nice. Oh, and Shaz just went to six because they took that blue planet. Um, because Bascots didn't take it because they went up navigation instead. I think Bascots want to win navigation here, actually. I think that right now they're doing navigation to place a Gaia former, and then they plan to win it, but it's tough. I mean, Xenos are already going to be up there with the Free Federation. Maybe they just want to contest one or the other. Um, mm, I think at this point, I think Basket should just have taken the tour, honestly. They might still want the double dig here, but it's not it's not a new sector. They cannot reach a yellow planet right now. They will be able to after climbing navigation one more, so maybe that's actually their plan to secure a yellow planet. Hmm, I can see that. Six credit federation for Xenos. Uh, then they will build a mine on this Gaia and either go no, they will build a mine on both Gaias because they will go navigation 4 and um, and then they're going to be in reach of this Gaia planet. So in the end, their this Gaia planet tech they took was worth 9 points for them. So nice, quite nice. Um, Next round they're going to, I guess, go and climb Terra. I don't think they are going to score well for planet types. Although everybody is still pretty low, but some some planet types are like red. There's only one left. Um, so let's build a federation now, which makes sense, so that they can have the 6 credits and they can use the and they can rescore the federation. I think they'll still manage a third one somehow. Although it is a bit awkward. You can probably take this stretch of planets up here, like the yellow, the orange, the white, and the brown and the blue. There's no neighbor, but it's doable. Or this stretch right here. We'll see. Anywhere that definitely taking the advanced style now and going up now. How many sectors do they have? They have 6 sectors. So actually, the advanced style on Terra is also interesting. Sorry, although probably much more so later. I think 3 extra points, and they have the top of economy anyway. So yeah, Xenos, Xenos turn. They are just going up now and building 2 mines. I don't know in which order. They're probably trying to figure out if they need to do something specific to secure it. Maybe they're afraid of Neblas. Sorry, not Neblas, Atshalas taking this Gaia. I think Adshalas are pretty clearly building a lab here. Okay, so they build the range mind first. The game is going pretty well. Everybody ends up doing pretty well. Um, Hadshalas, okay, so Zors wanted the yellow planet. Um, which lets him also take place the farmer there. So that also makes a lot of sense. Maybe it was one of the options that I already talked about. I I honestly forgot right now. And just out of curiosity, I want to see how long this game has been already. Oh, okay, so this game has already been almost 2 hour long, which is close to the complete duration of a game I usually play here on stream. But as I warned you at the beginning, this one was going to be a lot longer because players were likely really weighing their decisions hard. Um, Shallots only have a lab to build, right? Are they not building a lab? Curious about it. I guess at this point, nav and QC track, honestly, it's pretty much the same. In fact, they go for QC. There's not enough clusters that they can really have many spare QACs to do QAC's action. They're definitely getting one QAC action this round. Xenos. I'm trying to figure out how many new mines Xenos are taking. Um, they're of course terraforming in the last round. They will probably try to get the black planet, the brown planet, and the orange planet. And that's 1, 2, 3 extra mines. Maybe they'll manage a 4. I think 4 extra mines. It's already pushing it a bit. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. It requires a good bunch of ore, and they do have the top of AI, but they might also want to contest stuff on navigation, so I'm not sure. They converted 1 ore into a token, so they can get power action, I guess. They don't really have much spare ore though. Wonder which power action they're counting on getting that makes this worth it rather than just taking 2 tokens with their 3 power. Is Fuddy building an extra mine? Can he? It's 5 plus 7, it's 12. Doesn't have enough. So just going to pass for the lab points, of course. Finally managed to score quite decently with boosters this game. Xenos is taking, I would assume the 4 credits here, even though the big building booster is more point. Yeah, yeah, it's more points, but like 2 more points, and yeah, 2 more points, and also less, and also 2 less points for best squads, and gets maybe two extra points. They're pretty much equivalent. It depends on which power action they wanted to take. I would assume or. So they take the big building one. I guess there is a chance that they build an academy next round. Very slim one because they don't have enough ore. Not even nearly, but I guess there is one. Um, I think the power action that they want is the 2 knowledge, and they also want to take the planet type tile, and that will get them to Terra level 4, which will get them also to extra ore. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense because they're much likely to be securing the lost planet. I wouldn't know, honestly. Which one is it? Azores is left with a pretty mediocre booster for them. In fact, they don't even take the full coin. They take the range instead. This is kind of interesting. They're going hard on sectors here. Although without the lost planet, they won't really get that many. There's already one that's off limits. Another one that's almost off limits. I think if I'm going to predict the expansion plan for Vascos, I think that their ideal, the thing they have in mind would be to use their step, the first step on the free research step on artificial intelligence to get a QAC, get the dig action to get this white planet, and then with their booster get this black planet. It takes 3 moves, which is less move than Xenos would need to climb Terra if that was their plan. But again, I don't think it is. I don't really think it is. Another good reason for delaying the Fed for Achalas was to have enough power tokens this round to take the 7 credit action. Actually, even just converting their leftover money, well, that just gives them 1 extra credit, but it was still positive. Um, they move up artificial intelligence. I honestly have no clue where Adshalas are going to expand, so I'll just wait and see. Not going. to make many predictions. And Xenos, I'm really curious about the power action they so much wanted to take. Probably they weren't so sure either. Actually, maybe a lot of these moves were already planned out, but they still take a lot of time to ensure that they didn't miss anything or that they were going to blunder something. They took the 2-or. Are they trying to really make that academy? Who knows? They're still pretty far away. Unless they want to do something like top of AI, free QAC action, it's not impossible. Anyway, Baltics are pretty surely going to use some QAC to expand. Baltic's next move is, I would assume, going to be digging this blue planet. So best could put some pressure on the lost planet here. They're 2 moves away from getting it really, but and they would also need to take a very inefficient tech tile to get it. Oh yeah, well of course they can also take the advanced tile actually. Yeah. They will be out of uh they would be out of ore afterwards though. Um, anyway, they didn't rush the expansion plan that I thought they had. Okay, so Baltex takes this first. It makes sense. It's a it's a sector. If Baltex end up winning sectors with 2 QAC lost, I would be really surprised. But actually, now they can take this transdatum and take this blue planet. Next round, they can try and take either this blue planet or this orange one or both. If they take both, they are dead sectors, and that would be pretty astounding actually. Um, had Shalas probably time they show us where they wanted to expand, or maybe well the 3Q section is not threatened actually, and they really need to expand here. I'm guessing this stuff up here just mainly because yeah, they get the orange planets. That makes sense. Mainly because getting anything else requires navigation 1 or 2 QSC expense. So the next obvious step for Shalas would be to take this blue planet up here, but I'm pretty sure Baltics are gonna block that. It's their last mine, so just in time, but yeah. That's what I would assume. Unless they want to build more train stations, but I think Baltex would like this blue planet here. Xenos, meanwhile, another game plan I can't read right now. guess they're securing the lost planet, but honestly, I have no idea. Lost planet is pretty good for them. Lost planet can lead to. I mean, the problem is even if they try and get this yellow planet here, they risk um, that Adshalas take it. Uh, it's actually fairly obvious that Adshalas take it. By the way, Baltics also are interested in this yellow planet. It's not a new sector, but it is a new planet type that they don't have already. And this sector still has, even if they lose the blue planet, still have uh, two leftover planets that they can take. They would actually not mind taking the yellow planet than the white planet, but the white planet is gone too. Achalas this round if they don't take it. So um, I think placing the lost planet here for Xenos is a real dilemma because it's a bit too late to jump off and expand, uh, especially not having terraforming upgraded yet. They're thinking they're thinking this hard. Um, they take the lost planet. Okay, so we know that much. Um, they are they are going for it. They're probably saying screw it. Worst case scenario, it was 3 points and um, a planet type and a new sector. And they can always try and get the brown planet just next to the yellow planet. Now Zora's turn. I'm really curious to see what his plan was. Um, I was pretty confident that the plan was the south expansion that I saw, but now I'm not so much sure. Hmm, I think they're building an academy right now. I think they're building an academy um, for the advanced tech here on navigation. I think that's it. Baltex built a training station. I thought they would secure a planet first. Either the yellow planet type or the blue planet there in the cluster. Um, I would guess that Shala now would rather take the. It's tough. If I were at Shala here, I would really not know whether I should take the yellow planet or the blue one. I think I would slightly lean towards the. It's fine. It's the yellow one. No, I was going to say the blue one, but really I wasn't sure. Um, this way of forming a federation up there requires less satellites, which Ashalas would appreciate here. Zima somehow managed to get back to 4 power in Bowl 3. Uh, there's no dig action though available. Mm, maybe they take the 2 tokens? I think they could use the 2 tokens here. Maybe they don't care about taking it now anyway. What did they do? They converted an ore to a token so that they can hope and get the double dig if they get to charge. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if they are 100% certain that they're getting to charge. Because if they're not, that that ore down conversion was a bit tough. So as I said, I would think that Zora's plan here is to build an academy, the QAC Academy specifically, so that they can also build the mine later. It's okay securing the. I think they would have secured this tile anyway. Honestly, Baltak's actually trying for a 3 Federation game. That's a little bit tough. Is that impossible though? I would assume that they are placing a Gaia farmer here. So that second trading station they built basically meant they were forgetting this blue planet. But at the same time, maybe they don't care about placing the Gaia farmer. Maybe they'd rather keep this as a QAC if they don't forget to convert it and convert this QAC into an ore to secure this blue planet. Um, then they have blue planet here to get with digging. They have a lot of blue planets they want to get. But yeah, anyway, maybe they just don't care to get this sector by Gaia farming actually. So I would guess they're going to build an extra mine. They might build an extra trading station. I have no idea honestly, but I think building an extra trading station now, the points you get is points you lose for the ore you don't have to dig next round. So I'm not sure. But actually they're on the trading station booster, so yeah, it is worth a little bit more. I don't think Free Federation is ever possible for Baltics here. Mascot's plan, I'm pretty curious. If they don't build an academy now, I really have zero clues on what they're doing. I would really guess academy up um economy. Academy for the advanced style on up economy. That's my best guess for now. I don't have a better one. Or maybe they just building a trading station. That's also a possibility. But hmm, I like it a little bit less. I'm less confident in Basco's game right now. They do have a lot of points coming from advanced styles, but they are doing really badly in final scoring, I think. And Hadshalas are going to. I mean, probably when I said that they didn't look incredibly strong, I kind of forgot the extra resources they would get for advanced for the level 5 in the economy track. Um, they would just miss on the trading station points for this round, but they have a nice lead. They will have. Are they leading Planet Type? Well, they're co-leading, but they're probably getting a bunch of them. Definitely Adshala is in the game. I completely missed this, but um, Xenos somehow spent their power not to get the double dig. Did they get the single dig somewhere? No, no, because it was already gone, taken by Adshalas. So it's them who got the two knowledge. They got the two knowledge. So that now they can build a lab for the planet type tile that uh, will take them to terraforming level 3, I suppose. And with that, they're building one extra mine, and then they're done. I guess that's the plan for Xenos. So actually, I was just best to. No, they didn't even secure the scoring booster. They secured the 8th knowledge though, which is nice. Could they do something with their 7 credits? No, right? No, there's nothing they could do. I still would probably have converted at least three credits to an or to a token, just so they could, I don't know, take the 7 credit action. But this time it would have been, oh no, but they're silly me. They are gaining 1 token from the PI. They are taking the 7 credit action anyway. Yeah, it makes sense. They already have a very good point lead, so they're fine. They're going to take the 7 credits action, probably the 3 QC action, and probably a bunch of digs. They're also taking uh, a 3rd federation, probably 12 pointer, I would assume. So maybe also the 7 points. They have quite a bunch of points coming. They will have very respectable in-game score, and I expect also a good lead on planet types at this point. I don't think they'll manage to do much good on sectors. So I forgot to mention about Baltax. They got uh, they did build an extra train station. Um, I suppose it's fine. They're probably just going to use QICs for ore from now on. They also need QACs for QACs. Um, I was curious about um, how many sectors they can realistically take. I think two more sectors is realistic, and two more takes them to 8, which is probably competitive, but probably not winning. It's probably a tie for second, third place, maybe. I don't know. To be fair, everyone's scoring potential on sector is a bit low. Xenos, once they have upgraded their terraforming, can do some stuff, but well, they can do a bunch of stuff with all the navigation they have as well. Yeah, Xenos are definitely winning sectors, in my opinion. I don't think planet types is going to go well for them. They're gonna grab a couple um, in the last round, but doesn't look like a 7/8 planet types game to me. They're going to be the only one with gray though. Um, yeah, another thing we missed. Uh, Zors did build the academy, and he did take the advanced style on navigation as predicted. Only didn't go up economy, he went up QAC track instead. Probably because he needs hmm, probably just needs a bunch uh, of QCS or maybe he wants the 2 QC action, I don't know. I think he's a bit low on ore to justify taking a 2 QC action, but also I'm not really sure. Oh, and Baltax did end up placing a former there. It's fine. It's probably still cheaper than digging a lot. One knowledge less, one they're low one. They miss one knowledge to have two advancements. Um, Probably going to have to take a knowledge federation, of which there is only one. And he might not be the only one interested in it, since Xenos might get to. Oh, Xenos take the orange planet before they take the brown one, which also gives them a sector. They probably are fine this way, or maybe they are even taking the brown planet this round as well. It's not impossible. Okay, so Zoro's used both QECs plus uh, their range to get this great planet. I didn't calculate, but actually, yeah, with two QECs you can get there, which also gives them another sector, gets them to 8, the potential of having 9. Um, it's also placing oh yeah, one QEC was spent to place the 9, of course. Yeah, yeah. So they only spent one QEC for range. Yeah, that was a great move. Um, it's kind of the same thing of going here. Of course, he might have lost this planet uh, before this point to Xenos. He will now need a lot of satellites, but he has them because here he has a no satellites federation. Um, so his satellites situation is it's okay. The slight problem they have is that um, they cannot take the 7 points on top of the advanced tile, which is not that big of a deal, but um, it's perfectly fine. It just they would have to give up at this point one of the other tiles that they really need. So Xenos is asking in chat, is saying in chat that he wasn't sure whether he had to grab the gray or the orange first. I think it was definitely the gray. I think for me it was definitely the gray. Unless they wanted to build 2 mines, but they didn't build 2 mines. Uh, which makes sense because they passed early for a scoring booster, but at that point they it was better to grab the gray. Um, mm, mm, mm. I guess that shadows are going for the credits. I think they could use the credits, and I think they can still secure the free QAC action. I think they can afford to go credits, up intelligence, and then free QAC action before anyone else steals it. Soros is saying that it's not clear that the epic jump was better than the 2 QAC action. It's 2 extra sectors. I think 8 is competitive in this game. If he gets 9, it's 100% competitive. Okay, so far they decide to secure the brown planet first. That makes a lot of sense because Xenos still have mines there. But at this point, probably Xenos is perfectly fine with the blue planet. So gets them a sector and it's 1 more point for terraforming. I don't think he ever thought of having a federation up here anyway. This is not going to be a for federation Xenos game. It could have been only it couldn't without all that big building early, um, and that rushing the QAC tile. Um, it required uh, an earlier terraforming track advance, probably instead of going all the way up the navigation track. I think tactically, all everything that he did made sense actually. Um, but I don't know. Casinos look a lot weaker now, so I'm trying to justify why they weren't as strong as I thought they would. Mm, this is a common thing that happens with Xenos. Like they um, they build a lot in the beginning, and then for some reason they're blocked in. Uh, okay, so this is interesting. Xenos secured the red planet first, which I don't think was very threatening, to be honest. Because Baltax could get it, but he already has both a red planet and that sector. And by doing that, he let Zoras double dig this blue planet and get this sector. So I think that was just a mistake. Also, Xeno now has to lose some tempo to make their third federation. Do they have to take the? Do they have to take the two tokens here? I think at this point, two token is just better than the two ore. I mean, it's one credit better, but in the sense that if they take the two ore, it's going to be converted to a token anyway. So we'll see. Or maybe they take the two knowledge. Uh, that's of course a good plan as well. We'll see. I am not going to make predictions. I think I personally would take the two tokens at this point, or the two or rather than the two knowledge, and just hope to get the two knowledge federation. They take the two knowledge. Zoras is probably going to make a federation here. Like big federation. Is this already federation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a federation with this mine. So it will spend 3. Yeah, yeah, we'll make a federation there. Probably for QAC, he will build this mine, make a federation here. Then take the advanced tower out, get the top. advance on QAC or something. Maybe he even manages to take the no. Uh, it's not impossible that he manages to take the tile with the 4 QAC action instead of making another academy. But he is on the big building booster, so at this point it's actually better to make the academy. Fadi probably getting the 7 credits, I would assume. No. Moves up intelligence first to get to have tempo on the 3 QAC action. I think Baltax at this point just takes this 3 QAC action, to be honest. I think so. He could use a QAC to dig once more and take one more sector. Getting to 9 is pretty good. I wonder if he doesn't have. I don't think he has to secure it like right now, because I don't think Fadi is ever competing on sectors. Is Fadi leading on planet types? I think so. Yeah, he is at 7. That's all he's getting. Um, Zorus managed 6 without terraforming, which is basically the best you can do without terraforming. Xenos is probably matching his 6. And Baltax will need to take a white planet to match the 6, right? Because he missed the yellow planet. Yeah, I don't think a white planet to get the 6. Okay, so he gets the extra sector rather than the 3 QAC action, which is good news for Fadi. It's not clear which was better, especially considering that I think that Free Federation is very unlikely for Baltic here. So Xenos is taking is rushing their federation. Zorus's endgame is pretty much well defined already. Probably grabbing the federation right now for the QC. Yeah. Fadi definitely getting the free QC action. Well, actually, maybe it doesn't make a difference because nobody has power, but he could just take the 7 credits first. I think Fadi might have a good shot at this because he will have a lot of in-game points. Zorus, of course, will too. Zorus will have 32 more points. So that's 99 and also 12 from the booster. So that's 111. And yeah, I think that's it. 111 in-game points. And maybe he manages a 2 QAC action. I don't think it's impossible. It's also an option that Xenos take it. Okay, so Xenos does it like this, builds two trading station. Will he be able to place all the mines then? One, two, three, four, five, six. It's possible. It's possible. Oh, 7, 8, because he has also the ore from Turtrak. Yeah, yeah, he will. He should definitely place the three mines there. And I think he will manage to secure the 6 credits Federation. That is far from Federation. Zoros is a move away, and Baltax probably at this point just want to have the two knowledge in order to be able to top Gaia farming. It's not that far away from Federation, but there's satellites problems, and yeah, one, two, three, four, five, six. Is he actually able to make a Federation at all? One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, this one right here. Maybe there's more possible ones. Okay, finally takes the free QC action. Then we will do bunch more digging. Another federation, and I guess a lab for the 7 points. That would be my guess. Unless he wants, no. For a second, I thought he might want to go um, for 4 federation, but that's unrealistic. I mean, he could have gotten a bunch of ore from the advanced style on Terra, plus he has economy, but the traveling and also the available planets and the satellites needed, it's not feasible. And also not viable because probably it probably is negative points. Um, Zoras did what? Oh, he took the 2 QC action. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. He managed to. Um, he still has everything he needs to get everything he wants. So at this point, I'm still haven't counted, but it's most definitely either at Shalas or Pescots. Um, with had Shalas having more in-game points. More in-game points and uh, similar end-game points, similar science points as well. Mm, is this is it at Shalas win? Might be at Shalas. Xenos are now going to top the QC track, I guess. QIC or Terra is the same. Um, they have tempo on QIC anyway. Baltax is done. We can count their points. They will pass for 18. So 111, and they have 4 points here. 115, 127, and 100 and 35. This one is a bit tougher. Definitely 0 here. Probably a 12 here, 12 or 9. So best case scenario is 147 point, which is not a very high score. Of course, I might have done very poor math here, but just to fill the void. Uh, if I do it more seriously, I cannot talk in the meanwhile. And Xenos have a bunch of points coming from their mines. I would guess 5 points for a mine on a brown. And I would guess they get this white here for another uh, 9, so it's 14 points, and maybe another 5 here, so it's 19 points, plus 6, 25, plus 24, 149, 137. I would also guess 12 here, so 159, and they're getting 7. Are they getting 7? How are they getting 7? They get a they already have a white. Okay, so they're getting and there's 6. So yeah, they're getting 7. So they have 15 here. I forgot how much I was at. I don't want to go back and count. I forgot how much I was at when counting the satellites, but it should be a 160-ish, 170-ish score. And um, Hadshalas are probably more like at um, 12 more, so 129, 129 plus 7, 136, plus 15, 140, 151, 175, 179. They're probably over 180. So I messed up calculation on Xenos, but I think Shalas is above Xenos. And Zoras has 32, 32 more, plus 48, so 70, 80, 92, 98 plus 98 plus 88 is 186, plus some resources, 187. Okay, so it's either best goods or art shallows. Either best goods or art shallows. Don't know what Anshala is thinking. I don't think he has a choice here. guess uh, he does have a choice. He can convert to make a lab to take. Oh no, he doesn't have a green fed. Never mind. Never mind. He just needs to make this and then a fed, and then it's done. I think Bascots are winning this. I think Bascots are winning this by a couple of points. A very well deserved win. A very nice game. Would they have won without this planet? I don't think so. I don't really think so. But in that case, I think Charles would have won. And Zimos, they looked so good. I wonder why um, they ended up uh, doing less. I mean, it's still a good score. It's still pretty close to the others, uh, but there is some gap. Uh, yeah, Fadi must have made his calculation um, and saw that Zoras was winning. I think it's by a couple of points, like 5 points or something, maybe less. Um, very nice game by Zoras. Um, nice game by everyone, honestly. Baltics were just really tough to play here, in my opinion. They needed a bit more advantage from the auction, and also the forgotten QECs. I mean, they have a big impact. Like it's not impossible that the forgotten QEC might have meant an extra federation if they weren't forgotten. Still not competitive enough. Still not competitive enough. Um, oh, I forgot. No, nothing. I forgot nothing. Sorry. For a while, I thought that they would get points for this extra step here. Um, just waiting for Zors to pass, and then it's done. We'll know the actual scores. I wonder what is trying to find. Nothing. I don't think there's anything. So need to wait a little bit. So 181 for Fadi. Oh, 181 for Fadi. Why is Zoras not at 180 and well? did I go wrong? I have no idea where I did go wrong. Um, Maybe I'll watch back the stream and know it. Um, I thought they would have been at 186, but well then, well played, Fadi. Um, I didn't have much faith in Headshots, but it was a pretty incredible game. No navigation game. A lot of credit to QEC conversion. They got a hold of a lot of free QEC's actions that maybe Baltex would have contested a bit more, but uh, at least one should have gone away um, with those two lost QECs. But also, the Xenos are at 159. I thought it was higher. I thought it was over 160. Uh, but yeah, my math on Xenos was really sloppy. Um, I think after a 3 hour game, we're all pretty much worn out. I don't think I'm able to make any meaningful to give any meaningful insights right now. I need a pause for my brain. This was almost as intense as playing myself. Um, yeah, I'm maybe just going to look at the stats just for fun. So VP from research, pretty even. Oh, that's where I want. That's where I had it not correctly. I thought it was more science points for its source. I guess it's that. Um, Xenos got a lot of charge, but didn't make up for it. Otherwise, pretty even. Um, Round bonuses, we see how the most economic faction, Xenos and Hadshalas exploited it really heavily. 40 and 44 is its high scores for round bonus. And Booster again, pretty even. They managed to all to to exploit it. This was very nicely played. Oh, and QECs that interested me. Yeah, so let's go 21 from QEC's action. That's good. Yeah. Um, I think that's it. I'm gonna go and rest. Uh, yes, Ghostly the MSO and WBC champion. He is a legend. I really like this game. I didn't have much faith in it, but it was just a very good game. And yeah, I think that's it for today. And once again, congratulations to Fadi for winning, and well played to everyone who played. And see you next time.